Boom shakalaka, the beginning of a Bitcoin dip that we predicted, causing massive panic in the markets. A lot of very interesting charts coming out recently, including a few you need to be aware of. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including panic in the markets and a few charts that I don't think anyone's looking at. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, come join us on Twitter at the Crypto Love. Push that like button. Now today, fear and greed dropping down to 30 from 40 yesterday, all the way down to 30 as the markets dipped and recovered for basically a sideways move. Bitcoin at 26,128, Ethereum at 1606, BNB at 213, XRP 48 cents, Cardano 25 cents, Dogecoin 6 cents, Solana $18, and Tron 7 cents. Bitcoin dipping below this trend line we were talking about, a death cross here of the 50 and 200 day moving averages. You can see the last 3 times that we have had a death cross of the 50 and 200 moving average, Bitcoin price dipped down between $22,000 to $20,000. We could be headed towards that territory. If we do, Bitcoin could be on its way to retest the power law corridor for the 6th time in history, making it one of the best buys ever for the 6th time in history. Right now, that is sitting at $21,200. If it gets anywhere in that territory, might be a buy. Now, as of right now, Bitcoin has moved sideways in the MVRV Z-score during this phase before the next impulse wave started in 2012 and 2016. It moved sideways. In 2020, it did crash down into this zone, and that is a major buy signal. So keep an eye on the MVRV Z-score. If it crashes down into this green zone, scoop it up at a fire sale discount. Right now, Bitcoin is well on its way to the second bearish MACD cross. The first occurs at the top. The second 2-week bearish cross occurs, well, when does it occur? How about this? Before 800% gains, before 3,000% gains, or before 8,000% gains. So typically, it occurs right before some massive gains. Where we are right now in the term of the cycle, this is pretty much sideways territory. October is historically very bullish, but maybe it'll end up being November this time when we start seeing those price gains if we compare this cycle to previous cycles when they started to see the uptick. So it may actually be November when we start seeing some gains, if any at all, if it's not going down to $10,000 and staying there forever. Because it could, right? Well, these are not halving dates. It turns out Bitcoin is correlated with a lot of things, not necessarily the halving dates. Turns out that the global liquidity signal right here, this white line, and its moving average, times the major central bank balance sheet, every time it crosses, well, those are typically pretty good parabolic run territories for Bitcoin. We had one cross recently. Also, if we take a look here, Bitcoin correlates very well with expansion in the Federal Reserve balance sheet. When we see expansion in the balance sheet, this red line going up or in this green territory, guess what? Bitcoin price goes up as well. When we don't, guess what? Bitcoin price goes sideways or down. Definitely important to take a look at. And Bitcoin's event horizon, the next halving, April 2024, the most important date in Bitcoin's 15-year history, second only to the Genesis block. On this day, Bitcoin becomes the hardest asset in the world, 2 times harder than gold. How about that? This halving more important than any other halving period. You can see the inflation rate of Bitcoin versus the inflation rate of gold. Bitcoin will dip below gold, becoming the hardest asset in the world. Now, recently, only 5.4% of all Bitcoin has moved in the past month. You can see this all the way down here. The current record low is 5.3%, set 13 days ago. At the same time, 68.6% of all Bitcoin has been dormant for the last year. Historically, a lack of coins moving on both short-term and long-term time frames precedes parabolic bull runs. We're setting up for everything, may have some minor dips in the near future, but if we take a look at the OBV, not a lagging indicator, actually an indicator that precedes price action, we can see that historically, when OBV dips, that's the bottom, okay? It's happened previously, that's the bottom. Also breaking out of the downtrend, that's the bottom. So the bottom's in. Anybody calling for the bottom? Unlikely to happen. More likely to happen is the parabolic phase, because right now, Bitcoin is testing critical support, okay? This was the resistance of two tops, similar to what we saw back here in 2015. Should this support hold, there will be a massive generational bull run coming. So that's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, push the like button. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.